Number 1. Inheritance. The classic wealth strategy. Your parents or grandparents built a farm, grew a lot of money, and now they're handing you the whole greenhouse. Congratulations, you're rich, and you didn't even have to do anything. Here's the wild stat. In the US alone, an estimated $84 trillion is expected to be passed down from the baby boomer generation to their kids by 2045. That's the biggest wealth transfer in human history, and it's already happening right now. But here's the thing, if you weren't born into this rich family, this method is not for you. You can't really work toward inheriting money from rich parents. You either have it or you don't. Sorry. Number 2. Course seller. This one's been everywhere since the 2000s, and honestly, it works when done right. Think of it like this. You figured out the perfect way to grow a tomato. Like, your tomatoes are juicy, they're delicious, they win competitions. So instead of selling the tomatoes, you sell the secret hacks. You sell the knowledge. The e-learning industry was worth around $400 billion globally in 2023, and it's still growing like crazy. Platforms like Udemy, Kajabi, Teachable, people are genuinely making 6 and 7 figures selling courses on everything, from coding to calligraphy to, I promise this is real, how to talk to cats. But here's where it gets tricky. The market is flooded. If you want to sell a course in 2026, you need 2 things: actual expertise and an audience that trusts you. A random dude uploading a course about how to grow a sunflower garden easily with no proof he has a garden? That's like a tomato trying to teach you how to be a watermelon. Doesn't track. The legit way to do this is to be genuinely good at something. Build an audience first, then sell the course. Number 3. Crypto bro. You've seen them. The guy at the beach telling everyone to buy some obscure coin. The cousin at the family reunion who made it in 2021 and then lost it in 2022 and is now making it again in 2024. Crypto is real, apparently. People have genuinely gotten very rich from it. Bitcoin, one of the crypto coins, was less than a cent in 2009 and hit over $100,000 in late 2024. But here's the risk. Crypto is like a tomato that can grow from the size of a grape to the size of a watermelon overnight and then shrink back to a grape by morning. Nobody fully controls it. Not even the people who built it. The people who got rich from crypto in a sustainable way, they usually did one of 3 things. They got in very early, they understood the technology deeply, or they were just incredibly lucky or smart enough to cash out at the right time. The people who lost money, they bought at the peak because everyone was talking about it. Kind of like how everyone panics and grabs the last tomato at the market just because it looks popular. Crypto can be volatile. Do your research. Don't put in money you can't afford to lose. And maybe don't take financial advice from a tomato like me. Number 4. Politician. Before you decide to skip this video, hear me out. Becoming a politician is technically a legal way to get rich. Technically. Here's the deal. In the US, a senator earns about $170,000 a year in salary. That's solid, but not buy a yacht money. So how do some politicians end up worth tens of millions? 3 words. Legal insider trading. Wait, actually they banned that. Let me rephrase. It's more like speaking fees, book deals, and investments that somehow always seem to go up right before a big government decision. Purely coincidental, of course. In all seriousness, some politicians do enter public service genuinely broke and leave genuinely wealthy. The path there is law school, local government, networking, and a very high tolerance for shaking hands and smiling at people you don't like. Think of a politician like an apple greenhouse manager. Their focus isn't to grow apples. They just control who gets access to the water. So somehow, their personal apple supply is always very, very full. That's what makes them rich. Number 5. Pro gamer. Yes, this is actually a career now. The global esports industry is worth billions of dollars. Top players in games like League of Legends, Valorant, and Counter-Strike 2 are pulling in 6-figure salaries. They're not just good. They've been grinding for years, optimizing every single move, playing 8 to 12 hours a day minimum. The top 1% of pro gamers can make life-changing money. But the path there is genuinely brutal. You're competing against millions of players globally. Careers are short. Most pro gamers retire before 25 because the reaction times start to slow down. The smarter play in 2026 uses gaming as a platform. Stream on Twitch or YouTube. Build a community. Sell merch. Create content. The content creators in gaming often out-earn the pro players. And they don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to drill the same strategy for 10 hours. Number 6. Strategic romance. It's basically dating someone for their money. That can be a moral question I'll leave for you and your therapist. But marrying someone who's financially compatible, someone who shares your money values, your ambitions, that's actually really smart. Or an extreme example, you marry a good old man or woman who is extremely rich and has no one. Boom! You become rich overnight. So is this a path to getting rich? Technically, yes. Is it advisable to pursue relationships just for money? You decide it. Number 7. Investor. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people alive, literally compared investing to planting seeds and watching them grow. You plant a seed, that's your money going into an asset, like a stock or a real estate property. You water it. That's you adding money consistently over time. You wait, and eventually, you have a whole tomato garden. That's the result of your patience in investing. Here's the real talk. The stock market, on average, has returned about 10% per year historically. Meaning if you put $10,000 in and just left it for 30 years, you'd have roughly $175,000 without doing anything. The smartest investors in 2026 are usually doing a mix of index funds, which are basically baskets of the best tomatoes from multiple farms. So if one fails, you're still okay. Plus real estate, and in some cases, private equity or startups. But here's the catch. Investing requires time and patience. It's not a get-rich-quick thing. It's a get-rich-eventually thing. And it works significantly better if you start early. And most importantly, do research and plan your risk. Number 8. Influencer. Let me paint a picture. You're a tomato. You're not the biggest tomato in the market. You're not the most expensive, but you're attractive. You've got a fun color, a great backstory, and every time you show up on the shelf, people stop and go, "Ooh, what's that?" That's an influencer. The creator economy in 2026 is massive. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars flowing through YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, podcasts, newsletters, and more. Brands are desperate to reach real people with real audiences because traditional ads just don't hit the same anymore. The money comes from brand deals, affiliate marketing, merchandise, platform revenue sharing, and direct fan support through memberships and subscriptions. But here's the thing about being an influencer that nobody wants to admit. It's a lot of work. It looks like just talking into a camera, but behind that is scripting, filming, editing, planning, strategy, and consistency. Every single day. But you don't need millions of followers. In fact, micro-influencers, people with 10,000 to 100,000 followers in a niche, often make better money per post than mega-influencers. Because brands know their audience is super targeted and actually engaged. The key in 2026. Pick a niche, be consistent, and don't try to be everyone's tomato. Just be the best tomato for your specific people. Number 9. Entrepreneur. This is the one everyone talks about. Start a business, change the world, get rich, put it on a podcast. Sounds easy, right? Well, not exactly. Here's the honest truth. About 90% of startups fail. That's a real statistic. But here's the thing they don't tell you. Most of those fail because people tried to grow an exotic rare fruit in the wrong soil. They built something nobody actually needed. The entrepreneurs who make it, they solve a real problem. They notice something is broken, annoying, or missing, and they fix it. Uber noticed taxis were inconsistent. Airbnb noticed hotels were expensive and impersonal. Canva noticed that designing stuff required skills most people didn't have. In 2026, the best opportunities for entrepreneurs are in AI tools, sustainability, health tech, and content. Because those are the areas growing fastest. Also, boring businesses. Seriously, pest control, cleaning services, niche e-commerce. These are not sexy, but they print money. Entrepreneurship has high risk and high potential reward. No salary guarantee, but also no ceiling of the return. Number 10. Gambler. This is the spicy one. Can you get rich by gambling? Yes. Has it happened? Absolutely. Is it a reliable strategy? Oh, absolutely not. The rare people who do make consistent money from gambling are professional poker players who've spent years studying the game, sports bettors who apply genuine statistical analysis, or people who exploit specific market inefficiencies, which casinos will eventually ban you for if you're too good. Think of a casino like a big, beautiful fruit market. Everything looks ripe and delicious, but the tomatoes are painted. What looks juicy from the outside is hollow on the inside. The lottery is even more challenging. Your odds of winning a major jackpot are roughly 1 in 292 million. So can gambling make you rich? Technically. Reliably? No.